Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I've decided to follow on from my birth control advice video and basically tell you guys my experience with birth control and also why I came off my birth control, because I've been off my birth control for about a year. Now, just to clarify, I am not trying for a baby, because I know people like to jump to conclusions. No, I am not trying for a baby. I'm having safe sex with my boyfriend and I'm thinking about going back on birth control, but I'm currently, one, trying to get out this pandemic, and two, I'm trying to figure out what's best for me as a woman, basically, because I've been on 3 different pills and an implant, and you know, I just felt like they messed up my system completely. So I'm currently trying to get my system back on track, you know, where I want to be mentally and physically, and then I'll think about going on birth control. So just to clarify, I'm not trying for a baby. I'm 20 years old and I really don't want a child right now. So basically, just to start off with, like I said literally 2 seconds ago, I've been on 3 different pills and I've also been on the implant. So basically, I'm just going to start off by saying, 1, I am not a doctor, so please do your research and talk to your own doctors, and 2, just make sure that you know everything about whatever birth control you're considering about going on, because loads of different birth controls are really different, and every woman's different. So one birth control might work for someone and one might not work for the other, and there's so many options nowadays that, you know, you can go on. So just start off with, anyway, the advice that I was always given when I went on a new birth control was give yourself at least 6 months to regulate. Now, when saying that, is basically give yourself 6 months, so a 6-month period, try out whatever you're on to regulate. Just try and bear with it, unless told otherwise. So basically, if you've got underlying health issues, you start to have like reactions and different things, and if you start to become actually physically ill, or mentally ill as well, then please seek out medical help. This is just, again, just my experience and my opinions on the pills that I've been on and the implant. This isn't like medical advice from like a medical professional, so please always go to a medical professional before like thinking about going on birth control or going on birth control. So I've been on birth control since the age of 17. So basically, when I first went to my doctor about going on birth control, I got given this pill. So basically, it's the most common birth control pill that basically nearly every woman gets put on when they first go to their doctors about birth control, unless they've got underlying health issues like blood clots and things like that. I can't really pronounce it. It's like Ridgevidone. So basically, this is a pill that you go on, you take the pill for 3 weeks and you come off it for a week and you obviously have your period. When I took this, or when I was on this pill, my mental health wasn't at its greatest. So putting more hormones in my body where it makes you have mood swings and it has side effects of anxiety did not help. And I didn't take that into consideration because I didn't do my research beforehand. So when I went on this, I was genuinely just a hormonal mess for like a year, because I've been on like each birth control for about a year. I was on this actually for about 9 to 10 months actually, because I went on the implant after this. So basically, I was on this pill. I kept forgetting to take it all the time, mostly because during that period I was going out partying a lot and I just kept forgetting to take it. That's a risk itself, because obviously if you miss one, it basically increases the chance of you getting pregnant. The sole reason of going on the birth control pill wasn't because I was being really sexually active. I was just being safe. It's better than to be safe than sorry. And I'm just being transparent with you guys. I'm a woman, and I was going through a phase where I was going out partying, I was meeting people, and like, I'm just going to be honest about it. Like, you know, I was talking to different guys and I just wanted to be safe. But that wasn't the sole reason why I went on birth control. Another main reason was purely because my periods were very heavy and very painful. So basically, the first 3 days of my period would literally be hell. It would literally be, my cramps would be that bad that paracetamol wouldn't hit it, and also my cramps made me throw up. Obviously that shouldn't happen, but I didn't seek any help at that point because I just, you know, I didn't really talk about it a lot to like my mum or anything like that, because I wasn't really that close with her at the time. So I didn't really talk about things, and I didn't do really enough research, and I didn't didn't really look into anything, so I just thought that was normal, which it's not, by the way. But then obviously, like, as you get older and, you know, you talk to your friends in school, and some of them were close enough with their mothers that they put them on birth control when they hit 16, and they were talking about it and things like that. So obviously it went around school, and I heard about the pill, and I heard that it makes your cramps better, and it makes you regulate your period, and it makes you basically not be pregnant and all this stuff. This is only 99% effective, it's not 100%. So just to clarify, you still can fall pregnant while being on the pill, so still be safe at the same time. And it doesn't protect you from sexual transmitted infections and diseases. It doesn't protect you from that either. So please, like, if you've met a new person and you're thinking about being sexual with them, you know, please be safe about it. Please use condoms and just be careful, because, you know, that's how unwanted pregnancies do happen. And it's just a subject that should be more put out there for young girls as well, and for guys as well, because they should be taught about putting condoms on their winkies and, like, you know, being open about it. It should be an open conversation, because that is how unwanted pregnancies happen. Because trust me, in my school a lot of them have happened. So basically, I went on this pill. My mental health was actually probably at its worst, because it was 2018 when I went on this, and my mental health was bad enough as it is, so going on this made it worse. And I just felt like I was a hormonal wreck, and I was just like, I need to do something about this. So because I was forgetting to take it, I then done a wee bit of research and found out about the implant. So I decided, right, I'm going to go and talk to, pretty sure it's a sexual health clinic in Glasgow that I went to go and speak to, and I suggested going on the implant. I did go on the implant, and I'll just talk through the procedure I went through. So I went into the Sandyford Sexual Health Clinic in Glasgow. Obviously, if you live in Scotland, you'll know what that is. If you don't, that's what it's called. It's called Sandyford. So I phoned up and got an appointment, and basically what they do is they just take you into a kind of like, it looks like a normal doctor's surgery room. Like, it's nothing special, but basically it's a really, really small procedure, and basically they just put an injection into whatever arm you want. I got it put in here in my left arm, and they put a little injection into kind of basically my bicep muscle, just to kind of numb the area. Got like a wee gun type thing. Well, it looks like a gun anyway. And basically what happens is it just kind of pushes the implant through the skin. Now obviously, you know, you've got skin, then you've got muscle, then you've got bone, right? The implant doesn't go into the muscle, it just sits above the muscle. So it's actually just underneath the skin, so you can actually, like, if you've not got a lot of fat around that area, you can actually see it. If I like pushed down onto my bicep, you could see it, and it's only about that size. It's like the size of a pill. So that just kind of sits there. So again, I was recommended 6 months with this. 6 months of hell I went through. Again, this is just my experience. This doesn't happen to every woman. So basically, I had a period for 6 months straight. Just 6 months straight of a light period all the time. Like, I constantly had to wear tampons. I constantly had to wear pads for 6 months. I had like the odd day where I didn't have anything, but generally I ruined so many pants because I thought I was okay and I wasn't. Like, I ruined so many nice underwear. It was hell. Again, hormones through the roof. You know, I'm quite a moody person normally, so like that was just heightened, and also I gained quite a wee bit of weight as well. So because obviously I was gaining weight, my mental health was decreasing at that point as well. So I gave myself the 6 months. I actually gave myself 8 months, because I said to myself, I'll give myself the 6 months and then I'll wait and see like if my period goes away and things like that. Between the 6 and the 8 months, I literally was spotting. So I had like a light period for the first 6 months, and then between 6 and 8 I was literally spotting like every other day, and I was just like, this isn't normal. Like, I can't do this. Here's the thing, I was told that might happen because it doesn't work necessarily for everyone. So I was told about this, and I gave myself the 6 months, and I said to myself no. So I went and got it removed, and again the removal procedure was again the same clinic. You just go in, and again they just numb the area, and then they just get a wee scalpel and they just slit next to where the implant is basically, and they just kind of pop it out. But the woman that put my implant in decided to push it into my muscle, so getting it out took 10 times longer than what it was supposed to. It was supposed to just be a wee slit in the skin, pop it out, put some butterfly stitches on it and away I go. No, this woman pushed it into my muscle, so obviously pushed it in too much, or maybe I was tensing at the time, I don't know, but basically, not that I have a lot of muscle there anyway, I barely have any biceps, but it was like slightly attached into the muscle. So obviously if you like look up muscle fibres, you'll see that it's basically like lines, so basically the implant was caught in between the lines, if that makes sense. So it took a wee bit longer and it was a bit more painful to get out, but it's not painful as such, it's literally just like getting a jag, like getting an injection, and that's it. That wasn't like traumatic, it was just, I just literally had to lay there, and then, you know, I was like, I never turned around to look at it because I don't look at things like that anyway. Like I noticed the women pure like squeezing my arm and stuff like that, and I was just like, I was just sitting like lying there, and I just went, are you okay? Like, is anything wrong? And then she was like, no, just the person that's put your implant in has put it into your muscle instead of under the skin. And I went, oh, that's great, okay then. So that was the implant. Now the next pill that I want to talk about that I was on is Cerazette. Now I went on this pill between Revagon one and the implant, and the reason I got put on this was basically I had a month period where I had to come off this one and basically go on this to stay protected, because obviously I was still sexually active, so, and I didn't want to be pregnant. So basically Cerazette is either, I can't remember if it's the same hormone as the implant or similar, but basically I get put on this one because it's obviously either similar or the same hormone to the implant, because the implant hormone is different to this one, so that was the reason I had to come off that. Plus I had to come off that anyway because my mental health was horrible. So I went on this one, and I was only on it for about a month, but I'd probably say this was the best one that I was on. I know I didn't give myself the 6 months and that could have changed over time, but this was probably the best pill that I was on. This pill you just take every single day and you don't come off it. Now I don't know if this pill would have made me gain weight or anything like that, because I was only on it for a month, so I wouldn't have noticed, because I went on the implant and I always put down my weight gain to them being on the implant. But my hormones kind of died down with this pill, so I don't know if like this pill was probably better for me. But yeah, so the Cerazette one was probably the best one that I'd been on, but I probably, if I was to go on it again, I'd need to give myself the 6 months. So yeah, after coming off the implant, I went on another pill, which is, again, this is a pill that you take for 3 weeks and come off for a week to have your period. It's called Jederel. It basically looks like this, and it's pink and green. This birth control basically made my anxiety increase and my depression increase, and it made, you know, my mental health not the greatest. It wasn't as bad as the Revadon one, but it was still there, and, you know, because obviously of my hormones and stuff like that, it was putting a really big strain on mine and Connor's relationship. So I decided to come off birth control completely, but I had more side effects with these though. So obviously I had an anxiety increase and a depression increase. I didn't know it was depression at the time, because I've obviously just found out that I've had depression, and it was depressive episodes. I also gained even more weight with being on this, and I was breaking out like quite a lot, like more than usual. Like I've been I always say this, and my friends say this as well, that I've been blessed with quite good skin. You know, I don't break out a lot. You know, I've never had like acne or anything, touch wood. So breakouts were always really noticeable. So when I went on this, I was starting to break out loads. You know, I was starting to kind of have like skin issues that I'd normally not have, and also my mood swings were through the roof. Even more than what they already are. So March last year, I've been off birth control for about a year now, so March last year I decided to come off birth control completely, and I just said to myself, you know, I'm just gonna regulate myself again, and just hopefully I don't get my really painful periods back. See, to be honest, coming off my birth control was probably one of the best things that I've done, because it then let me focus on myself. It's let me, you know, lose some of the weight that I gained with being on the birth control, and I'm not blaming the pill solely for my weight gain. Like, you know, I've always had like an unhealthy relationship with food and stuff like that, but I've never gained so much weight so fast with being on like birth control. Like, I think I would have gained weight gradually, whereas like the 6 months I was on the implant and going on the pill, like I gained weight within 6 months like that. Like I probably gained about 2 stone, and like that's not really normal, if you know what I mean. Like, because I was still going to the gym and I was still kind of working out and stuff like that. I know obviously it wasn't healthily at that point, but I was still going and working out, and I was still kind of trying to eat healthily, even though I was kind of going like yo-yo dieting and stuff. When I looked into it, I probably shouldn't have gained as much weight as fast as that. So I do blame the pill on some of my weight gain, but not all of it, because obviously lockdown happened and we all had lockdown weight and stuff. But all in all, like, I just feel like hormones don't work with my body, like genuinely at all. You know, and if I was thinking about going back on birth control, I'd probably think of a non-hormonal method. So I know there's a non-hormonal coil, but I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that yet. But basically, I literally started my period when I was 9 years old, so I had to go through the painful period. But coming off the pill, my periods, you know, I've regulated, so obviously like I kind of get them at the similar time each month. I only get one day of really painful cramps, and I can normally curb them with paracetamol. So I feel like maybe growing as a woman, you know, has helped, but sometimes it can be quite bad. It just depends on maybe like how healthy my diet has been that month and stuff, because that does you know, take into effect, you know, your diet, your water intake, your stress levels, your exercise, like all that type of stuff goes into account when you have your period as a woman. Like, it's very, very complicated. See, the reproductive system of a woman, it's so complicated that most of us women don't even know about. Like, it's so complicated. All in all, birth control isn't for me, I don't think. But at the same time, if you're not on birth control and you are sexually active, please be really careful, because, you know, accidents do happen. And I know lots of people say, oh, it's like a blessing in disguise, and it probably is, you know, having a child and stuff like that. And I don't look down on teen pregnancies. I don't look down on young mothers. I don't look down on any mother in whatever circumstance. Like, I don't look down on anyone who, you know, has a child, whether it was a unplanned pregnancy or a planned one, like whatever. I don't look down on any mother, whatever choice, whether they fall pregnant and have an abortion, whether they give up for adoption. Like, I don't look down on anyone. You know, everyone's their own person, and if you are in a relationship where you are sexually active, or you're planning on being sexually active, whether you're in a relationship or not, you know, you should look into things to keep yourself safe, not only from pregnancy but also from STDs and STIs, because you don't want them either. Please just be careful if you are being sexually active, either with multiple partners or with your partner. It's just something to think about. But yeah, so that's my experience on birth control. It's not the happiest experience. Obviously over time, if I do go back on birth control, I will keep you guys updated with that so that I can give you guys my opinions. But yeah, so I hope you guys have either somewhat related to this video, or you thought the advice was good. I don't know, good, bad, whatever. Please let me know in the comment section below. So yeah, so I'm going to end this video here, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.